Thank you very much for coming. I'm having Theresa in my home today to have a private reading in the hopes of connecting with my husband, Keith.
So I just invite you to relax, enjoy, but more importantly, embrace the most amazing and beautiful messages from Spirit.
Thank you.
Were you afraid that your husband wasn't going to come through? Your husband's soul is present.
My husband, Keith, was an amazing father, an amazing husband. I miss my husband every day. He was my best friend. But also every day I look at the kids and I just think I can't get over how unfair it is for them. And every day I miss him that he's not here, and I cry and I yell at him. You know, he's supposed to be here for them. He's supposed to be there for us.
I don't know what this means. Okay, how do you connect with like the nautical star? Do you have like a tattoo of that?
That was his tattoo. Got it about 6 months before he passed away. Got it right here.
And were you thinking of getting
Yes.
the same tattoo?
And nobody knows.
So you know that your husband, his soul hasn't left you.
When Theresa brought up the nautical star, I was actually thinking about getting a replication of that, a smaller one. And the fact that that came through and she knew that just blew me away because, you know, yes, his friends knew he had a tattoo, but how would Theresa know he had a tattoo?
Do you connect with birds with your husband as well?
God. He was a bird watcher.
Because I didn't know, I
His
saw like a
license-
hawk.
His license plate was pigeon hawk. Hawks are his favorite bird. He used to go bird
And
watching.
I'm like, I think I saw a hawk. I'm like, who sees hawks? Do you ever see a hawk flying over your house?
Yeah. Yep.
So you know that's him watching.
Not only did she pick up on him being a bird watcher, she said hawks, and hawks were his favorite bird. He would go down to Cape May every year for a hawk watch. That just absolutely blew me away.
Did you separate his cremains? Oh, was he cremated, I should ask you?
Yes.
Oh,
and
okay.
yes, and yes.
So, because then what he showed me was like, I feel like I have like a little urn, but then I spread some in the ocean, and then if I buried some.
Yes, that's exactly what I did.
And you saved some for the children as well?
Yes, nobody knows that either. Not even the kids.
So you know that your husband supports everything that you do.
It took me 2 years to actually decide to bury some of his cremains because the children did want a tangible place to go visit their dad. And we went down to the area that we always took our boat out of, and we sprinkled his ashes. And I also saved part of his cremains, which is something that nobody knows.
And your husband just said to me, he says, Theresa, it's all been completely unexpected.
I was sitting at work and my cell phone rings and it's somebody saying that they're a New York City cop and they found my husband and I need to come into the hospital immediately. I get to the hospital and I can't figure out what's going on. A doctor comes out and he said, you know, we did everything we could. There were no signs that my husband was sick. He was 42 years old. My husband passed on a subway platform in New York City from a massive heart attack.
He actually shows me you sitting with his physical body after he died.
Yes.
And you cannot believe that he had died.
Yes.
Because he keeps showing me you like saying, just wake up. How could you be dead?
Yes. It became real to me when I asked to see him and they brought us into the hospital room where he was. And I do remember when they told me that he was gone, that I know I was screaming because I do remember thinking, oh my God, somebody's screaming. Not realizing that it was me that was screaming. And then I just kept thinking that I had to go home and tell the kids. How do you tell your kids this?
So now, was there a trip that you discussed taking the kids on?
Yeah, I took the kids on a trip about 6 months after he passed. We had to get out of here.
He goes, and the kids had the best time.
The best time.
The best time. And he says, and I know how hard that was for you. Yes. How you watched with sunglasses and you watched them have a good time as you cried, feeling that your husband was missing out.
Yes.
So know that your husband did not miss out. Know that his soul was with you.
Okay.
So, I don't know, were you thinking about going back on the vacation? So I feel similar but different. I know that sounds odd. Like, I feel like if you went to Atlantis, like now you're going to like beaches.
Oh my God, we went to Atlantis. That was our first vacation. Now we're doing an all-inclusive. It's not beaches, but we're doing an all-inclusive. Okay.
Perfect. So know that he supports you with all of the vacations.
We spent the weekend boating the weekend before he passed away. And my kids think they're lucky that, you know, they didn't see their dad suffer. And they had such an amazing weekend with him that weekend. So all their memories of my husband are good memories.
Do you still have a trunk?
Yes.
Because he shows me, is your son very interested in the stars, astrology?
Yes.
Does he have a telescope? I don't know.
He
Or does
has
he just...
my husband's telescope, and when you were talking about the trunk, that's what's in the trunk, the telescope. And about a month before he passed, he would set it up and the two of them would go outside.
Does he always ask to do things that him and his dad did?
Sometimes. But then I think he doesn't want to ask me because he knows I'm going to get upset.
Because your husband's telling me to go get the telescope out of the trunk.
I was recently kind of cursing out the trunk because I feel guilty because I should really take the telescopes out and do this with Joseph, but I don't know how he's going to react because I'm not dad. And I can try to be dad, but there are just some things that I can't do with him.
Your husband says, stop saying that you can't do this. He says you can and you are.
To hear that he approves of everything that I've done since he's passed is great because every decision I make, I think that, you know, it's unfair that I have to do this by myself.
I hope this experience helps you be able to know that with every breath and milestone that your family takes, your husband is guiding you from heaven.
Thank you. This is amazing. This reading will absolutely help my children and I heal. I can't wait for my son Joseph to listen to everything that came through. I believe that when he listens to this tape from Theresa, that he will know that his dad is always with him.